Hi, this is Chloe from Me Just Me, and this is a little teaser for my Q&A videos, which I'm going to start making on Patreon. So if you want to ask me questions, go on my Patreon, and it'll all be on there. If you sign up to the Q&A tier, you can ask me stuff, and I'll answer it in a longer version of this video. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 questions, just to give you a little brief understanding of what these Q&A videos will be like, and hopefully you might learn a few things along the way. The first question: how do you get PDA children to brush their teeth? I know for me this is a little bit of a tricky one, but we found methods that worked. So when I was quite young, we tried to get me to brush my teeth normally, and obviously, me being PDA, that didn't really work properly, being told to do something every day, every morning, every day before night too. That's a lot of stress to put on one individual, especially a young PDA child that doesn't quite understand themselves quite yet. But we found some methods. So the first method we found is trying to gamify this. So we had apps and games to help children with brushing their teeth. But I found the novelty of that kind of worn off pretty quickly, and I'd get bored and then not want to do it, and it'd be fun for one day and then I'd want a new app. So we found that was not really working too well, but it could work for some people. But we mostly found the issue with me is I didn't like the textures of it foaming, I didn't like the strong tastes of the mint, and I didn't like the idea of having to go in the bathroom every time, and I didn't like the feeling of spitting things out. I always feel icky when I do that. So what we did is we ended up making it so I can do it anywhere. I can just brush my teeth on the sofa. That's what I do now. I have my toothbrush here, little shiny bag. Toothbrush and toothpaste. This is never changing. This is my life. It's sofa brushing teeth. I don't enjoy spitting things out, so I usually brush my teeth and swallow it, and I hated it foaming, and it doesn't foam unless you use water, so I don't use water for brushing my teeth. Just like how an astronaut would, and younger me thought that fact really cool, so to tell everyone at school I brush my teeth like an astronaut. The only problem with this though is fluoride is quite dangerous to swallow a large quantity of it, especially if you're having a tiny bit every single day. So we found some toothpaste, let me get it out again, that is fluoride free, and it's a lot less minty because it's natural mint in here, so it's not a really strong chemically taste. It's very faint. So it's not a strong chemically taste. It's very faint, and it's quite nice. And it doesn't have fluoride in or any nasty chemicals, so I can swallow this just fine. And you can get a lot of brands like this. You can even get ones that are flavourless or taste like strawberry or oranges or whatever. There's tons of different types on the internet, especially made for autistic children, which is very great. How do you get yourself or a child with neurodiversity or anyone really to drink water throughout the day? This is a big one that I used to either drink way too much or drink way too little, and it was dependent on what was around me and where you put the water. I find glasses of water never really worked for me because having a glass there, I would drink it all quickly and then never ask for another one, never get another one, and then at the end of the night I'd be like, wow, I'm so thirsty, I need to drink now because I haven't drank for the whole day other than that one large glass of water. So what we found is I have a beaker that I carry around with me everywhere. So right here, it's got a nice strap, so I'll carry it when I'm outside, and when I'm indoors, I'll simply take it out. There it is, pretty gold standard. It's a drink. And I just carry that around with me and have it everywhere. And then whenever I'm thirsty, I can just take a sip. And since it's not like an actual glass or anything, and you don't see how much is in there, you don't just chug it, and you don't overdrink. And I also find that it's nice to have something physically there, because when I can always see something, I will always remember it's there. That's mainly because of my ADHD, because if something isn't in my general vicinity at any time, it doesn't exist. It's simply not there. So if I cannot see water, there is no water, and I might as well perish. So now I have the water there at all times. I can see it and then think, oh, I'm thirsty, and take a sip. And then whenever it's empty, because this thing is quite a few litres, so it lasts a long time, I'll just refill it whenever I can, or ask someone to fill it for me. Very helpful. Also, a lot of restaurants, if you ask them, they will in fact fill up your water drinks, which is amazing news. So literally all of them do it. I'll go into any place, and if I'm out and about and it's empty, and I'm in a restaurant, I will ask them if they can refill it, and most of the time it's yes. Some even have refuel stations. There's more refueling stations out and about, so it's getting easier and more accessible for people to have water at all times on their person, which is very helpful. For some of my friends, I find it helps them if they see someone else hydrate. So if I'll drink water, and then all of my friends will see me and go, "Oh right, drinking water is a thing you need to do to survive," and then all of them will drink water because myself has drank water. So I find seeing other people drink water can also help remind people to drink water a lot, and I find that's quite helpful for some of my friends. What to do when you're feeling overwhelmed in a situation. I find myself feeling overwhelmed quite a lot, and I've gotten very, very good at dealing with this recently. And I'd find the best thing to do is, if you're in a situation outside, if you're feeling overwhelmed and you cannot verbalize this, the best thing to do is just remove yourself from that situation. Just get up and leave. If you can leave the situation, if you're feeling stressed in that situation, you are not required to stay in that situation, so you should be able to leave. I also find that if you can say, it's best to just tell a trusted person, a parent, a friend, literally anyone you trust, and tell them, "Hey, I'm feeling overwhelmed. Is it okay if I have some space? Could I have a breather? Just if you need maybe like some time to calm down, just a quick chat to understand what's going on." Just ask them for that, and I'm sure they will help you. And another thing I find helps a lot if you're in a stressful situation, but you still want to be in the situation, which I find myself a lot, is finding something to focus on. So, for instance, if you're in a classroom or like a club or something, and you want to be there, and you want to enjoy it, but you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, but not to the point you want to remove yourself, just find something to focus on, to hone in on, and just to concentrate on that, and tell yourself everything else is fine. If it's a bit noisy, maybe move to a quieter area. If there's too many people, maybe move slightly further away from the people, separate off a little bit. And I also find that fidget toys help, so having something to do with my hands makes some things less stressful to deal with. So I really think that might help some people. I know quite a few of my friends who wear headphones, ear defenders, earphones out and about for if they struggle with a lot of noises, so you can get accommodation aids like that. So you can wear headphones outside or noise defenders, so then you can go outside, experience life without all the noise everywhere constantly. One of my friends listens to music in only one ear of her headphones. I do not know how she does that, because if I had headphones on only one ear, that's way too sensory for me. I'd rather just have the noise. But every person is different, so people cope in different ways, and something that works for one person might not always work for another. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation with these sorts of things, so it's best to just figure out what works for you. What to do if you feel different from others. I find that it's perfectly normal to feel different from others, especially if you're neurodiverse, because you're not going to fit in. Most of the time, people don't fit in. I find no one on this earth really fits into a group. Everyone likes to try, but I don't think anyone really truly fits in, because everyone is unique and individual. And personally, I believe that everyone should embrace that. If you like different things, you should express that. And feeling different, I feel very different from everyone, and I've just decided, why not be different? I know this is a lot easier said than done, because obviously if you're quite a shy person, you don't like feeling ostracized, and you see someone really outgoing going, "Just be yourself," it can feel quite intimidating and scary and a bit ridiculous that they're just telling you to be yourself and not really do anything about it. But it's honestly just, the more you focus on things, the more it will stress you out. And to be yourself, you don't need to be all eccentric. Just do what you care about. Dress how you like, even if it's little steps, even if you don't want to jump straight into it, you can just start like, oh, you like this certain character. You can express things that you like through little pin badges, so then you're not really changing everything about you. If you like a colourful hair but you don't want really bright colours, you could just put a little streak in, just to express yourself a little bit more. So you can be yourself without being a massive rainbow show of "look at me." That is just how I prefer to do things, because I just think if people are going to look at you for being different, might as well look the most different out of everyone. It's a bit weird if you're looking at someone with a tiny little streak of colour. Why not be the entire rainbow? That's how I see it anyway. So if people are going to stare, got to look good while doing so. I really just think the best thing you can do if you're feeling sad about being different is just know that one day you will find your people, and that once you find people that are similar to you and like the things you like, and you all can just mesh together, and you understand that you're not so different after all, and there are always people out there that think the same as you. how to self-advocate for yourself. This is a big one that I'm going to go a little bit into. So I find self-advocacy is quite important to let others know what you want to happen and what you need to happen to stop you from getting stressed in situations. You can self-advocate in all different sorts of ways, and I'm just going to share one example with you today. So when I was younger, I used to struggle with a lot of food orders, and I didn't like when they had like dressing on the salad and sauces, or butter with bread, and a bunch of other things and seasonings. I was really picky with that, and I like things plain. I still do, but as I got older, I experimented with more tastes, so I'm getting better with that. But it doesn't matter if you never change, because if you're eating, that's good. You're eating. That's basically all I really need to worry about now. So when I self-advocate for myself at restaurants, I will go up to the people and ask them questions like, do you have anything on the salads, or is it just plain? What is in the salads? Can you please remove the butter from the sandwiches, please? Because I don't like those unwanted textures. And simply explaining sometimes, hi, I'm autistic and I struggle with certain tastes. What exactly is in the seasonings? Or it says with side salads, what's in the salads? And I'm sure most restaurants will just be quite happy to say, hey, this is in the salad. It's cucumber, lettuce and tomato. And then you can be happy with that. And then you can say, thank you, I'll have this with the salad then. And then you can enjoy your salad and everyone's happy. And it's just a really easy way to just explain what you need, and then people will bring it to you. Sometimes it's as easy as advocating for yourself and saying. Other times you can get parents or trusted ones to explain for you. And most of the time, the waiters don't really care, and they don't even worry that much because they're getting paid for it as it's their job. You are not causing any inconvenience. They are getting money. If you want to learn more about self-advocacy, because it is quite a big topic, I've talked more about it on my podcast. Ooh, I'm starting a podcast, yippee! But if you want to listen to my podcast, you can only find it on my Patreon. So be sure to subscribe to that at the Q&A tier, and you get access to asking me questions in videos just like this, and getting a special podcast that talks about that topic you just heard, along with way more other interesting topics that might even be from questions previously asked that I need to get a little bit more in depth into. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more like this, then make sure to subscribe right over there, somewhere. Click it, it's a very fun button, it's big and red, click the button. Or if you're watching this on any of the other social medias I have, you can follow me on there. And if you'd like these videos a month before they even arrive on any of these platforms, you can get early access on my Patreon. Yes, this is a little bit of a self-endorsement advertisement video, but I just want to get this out there because I really think this can help a lot of people. And I hope to see you, maybe on my Patreon, maybe on here, maybe anywhere. We do not know. See you guys in a while. Goodbye.